evening, adventurers. You're joining us in the ADV Dual Sport Backyard Bonfire. Well, we're a little overdue for a podcast, a Motobound. By happenstance, we have a special guest with us today, Ollie from Undermotorized Idiots. He hails from
Germany, Black Forest.
and he is here traveling on his, let's just round it down for legal purposes, to his 50cc Zundap.
Right.
He's passing through, and a friend of a friend said he was looking for a place to camp out, refit, refuel. Our door is always open to travelers. So let's go around the campfire here and give us some introductions. Our special guest today will go first.
Yeah, my name is Ollie. I'm from Germany, Black Forest. I'm traveling the States for the next 3.5 months before I go further to Mexico, Guatemala, and all the way down to Panama. And yeah, so I ended up here today, and I'm excited.
And we haven't eaten him yet, so.
No.
To my right here, we have one of our local riders here. He's been one of my very first motorcycle friends in the community. We met a long time ago, and when I was going to college. I'll toss it over to him.
Yeah, Ben, local rider here, picking back up the hobby after a little while. Do my first adventures coming up soon.
Yeah, he's cracking into off-roading for the first time.
Like he said, like Richie said, it's been 15 years almost.
Oh,
probably.
Not that long. Come on.
No, maybe
You
10,
think
12.
So?
I don't know. Anyway, first moto friend. My first bike. When I bought my first bike, I stopped into the auto parts store where you were working, and you were behind the counter, and you leaned over and you said, "Is that your bike out there?" I said, "Yeah, you want to see it?" And then I've been trying to show it to him ever since.
Yeah, I proceeded to shut the shop down, and he just went out and talked motorcycles. So our episode tonight is another freelance, super chill. Obviously, we're at the campfire. We finally got a break in the super hot weather. We're going to talk about what we envision and what we would build as our ideal motorcycle. Ollie made a good point about the episode where Homer gets to build his perfect car. So what we're going to talk about first, I think, is going to be, we'll go around and each of us will do category by category. Are we talking street, on-road, off-road? Where are we starting with there? We're going to go with Ben.
I've been thinking about this a lot since we talked about it the other day, and I think these days I am in love with the adventure touring kind of format.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more definitely upright.
So that's the point. The frame situation is going to be more of a heavier duty, upright, load-bearing scenario.
Something tall, unfortunately.
And obviously, you guys have watched the channel. That's what I'm into. A lot of travel mixed with a lot of off-road. So, dual sport, big, heavy frame for me. Carry a lot of weight. Not necessarily dirt bike, but, upright.
I've been really in love with everybody's Tenares lately that I've been seeing out on Moto Monday.
Yeah, yeah. What do you got?
For street? You tour.
I don't know. So, traveling is about, for me, traveling is about soaking the landscapes. I don't know. I've been off-road also just with a moped, so it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
No suspension. So for off-road, I definitely need more suspension because I really like pretty thin frames and a low bike. So maybe it's not comfortable for going off-road, but yeah.
Okay, so there's a new word I would love to start incorporating with some of the discussion, a traveling bike. Not necessarily touring. I think of touring bikes as like huge monster BMWs, but a traveling bike can be literally anything.
Yeah.
So like a traveling stance is just anything that you could be comfortable with. Now, as with the frame, that would be what we refer to as like the skeleton, the bones of the thing. And without the heart, you're really not going anywhere. And we're going to talk about the motor choices you're going for. You're building your perfect thing, not just necessarily what you happen to like at the time, but what you would have. Just you walk into Mr. Japan, Mr. Honda, and you say, "This is what I want," or Mr. Enfield, or whatever you want. Have them build it for you, heart-wise, engine-wise. We'll start over here again.
I'm going dual inline, parallel twin, fuel injected, obviously, because no one likes to work on carburetors.
Anybody that does better be making money off of it.
Yeah. And yeah, I think those are really the qualifications. Obviously, no push rods, no shims.
Oh, so you're going to go into the details. You want adjustable tappets.
Yeah, and I think just from a reliability and maintenance standpoint, that really matters a lot.
Yeah, adjusting on the road with shims is
impossible.
Almost impossible. You have to be in a town, know a mechanic there that'll let you use his shims, or you'll have to order them a kit or bring a kit. And the kits are like this big; they weigh a few pounds. So that's an excellent point. Personally, I have been in love with Honda V-twins forever, and Honda's been putting them in adventure bikes in the early 80s and 90s. So I think a V-twin would be a great power delivery.
What do you think the advantage of the V over the inline would be in your scenario?
It's a completely different power feel. I don't even know if I can quantify that. It's like the low grumble. Like the parallel twin is really
better low end torque.
Yeah, it's like a lot more linear. I know that there are parallels that are off time that they get the grumble in them. But if you go ride, let's say, a CB or a CM400 parallel twin versus like a VT 500, it's completely different power delivery. It's a completely different machine. And again, I agree with adjustable tappets. Shims are fucking dumb. A hydraulic lifter situation would make the engine, for me, doing off-road and stuff like that, hydraulic lifter would be too big of a system.
Sure. What about cooling?
Oh, God, Jesus. I'm going to say water cooling so that I can get my revs up without worrying. But that comes with its own challenges of like, it's
extra weight.
Yeah, it's extra weight. It's an extra system to take care of.
Yeah.
But a V-twin is a lot harder to cool off.
True.
Air-wise.
Yes.
So probably water cooled with me. What do you got?
So mine is fan cooled.
Yep.
So especially this engine never gets over 280 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't matter how hard I
you don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to getting too hot and sitting still.
So
like that.
even when it's pretty hot outside, or if I go first gear up the mountain.
So what he's talking about is fan cooling. It's not just air cooled. Air cooled would be like an old bicycle whizzer motor, where it's relying on the motor going past, or the air going past the motor to cool it off. The fan cooling they have is way ahead of its time.
It's on the flywheel. Is a fan that let the air flowing around the cylinder and cooling it down, and I think I would prefer a two-stroke engine because it's super easy. The technique is easy and
minimal parts. It eliminates the entire discussion of valves.
Yeah,
they don't exist.
I'm pretty. Don't know how to say it right. I'm limited to the CCs.
Yeah.
So
true.
But you can go up to 250.
Without it getting too hairy.
But it's the low end. It not depends on the power or the speed.
Yeah. The rate at which you are trying to get somewhere.
It's all about. I think it's all about the feeling, and of course, style doesn't hurry.
Oh, I agree. That's a huge point for this.
Yeah.
The style of the motor, because I ride a Royal Enfield Himalayan, and the motors are a new generation. They're fuel injected, properly modern, but they are very basic and very simple. and at the same time, they are aesthetically designed. Like, the engine cases aren't just like, oh, this is the material you need to hold these bearings. It's like, no, there's a very nice rounded case, and everything has a nice position. And it was like they built the motor next to the guys that were building the tank. Like, oh, we want this to look the same and have the same aesthetic. Like, if you look at the brand new Rebels, they have this whole design on the bike, and then it's just like, oh, there's a motor. It could be any motor; they don't care.
Single unit of motor.
Yeah, this is an motor.
Yeah. I would like one bike with one motor, please.
Yeah. So cooling, where do you got?
Well, so I would steer away from liquid just for the reasons we talked about. Reliability. You're gonna puncture something. You know, like I always have weird fears about rocks coming through your radiator.
The worst case what ifs. I've had it happen where something pops up, pops a hose off, or a hose just slips off because it's hot.
It's additional wear. It's another system to maintain.
Yep.
But oil cooling is still a very valid method to increase your reliability.
You're not adding a pump because it's already there.
Oh, there's also it's a liquid. I have it in my car. It starts to boiling at almost 300 degrees.
Right.
So it's
antifreeze. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no pressure on the hoses. Nothing.
Huh.
But it's non-water. It has no water in it. It's just a liquid.
Oh.
And you never can fill it up with water. You have to refill it with the same liquid.
All right, we're back after a little bit of a beverage break. Everybody's topped off. Cheers. Yes.
Salute.
Salute. Cheerio.
Kimmy.
Nostrovia.
Skål.
Back in the shop.
Kimmy/Pickle. She's been on the channel before. She's joining us. She might chime in. She might not. She might just sit there and smile.
It is awkward.
So far we've talked about like the frame and what kind of motors and cooling we want. How do we feel about like faired bikes?
Fairings, as in
Yes.
the trappings on your bike.
Yes. No. Like a fairing.
Yeah.
Like a covering or no covering.
No.
Yeah.
You like a naked bike.
I don't want to have a yogurt cup.
I didn't know if you had your.
I want to see the lining, the frame, and
the detailing.
yeah.
The construction. I'm the same way. There's something obviously that's novel about a bike like a Goldwing that you've got two of in the shop right now.
A what?
A Goldwing, like the big Hondas with all the like the radios and stuff.
No Nintendo.
He's
I
got
don't understand.
Two of them.
Yeah, I know.
No, you just don't understand what the point is.
Yeah.
I think it's novel. I think it's I know why people are attracted to it, but it feels heavy.
But if you want to ride a Goldwing, you can ride a car. You don't need. Of course, it's like a car.
It is. Some of them have reverse.
Have you seen from the newer one the case in the back? It looks like a trunk when you open.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes no sense. There's no feeling. Where is the motorcycle feeling or the curve feeling? You always have. No.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot in front of you on something like that, like the Goldwing or the Indian Chieftains and stuff like that, where there's just everything. I understand if like, I want to go from, let's just say, Boston to Cali in 3 days. Cool. Whop! You can just warp speed and you're
But
there.
like you said, you could do that in a car too.
Like, or
in a plane. Okay, it's not the same as home. A Goldwing a Goldwing is built for it's a kind of luxury ride-in. You're sitting. I don't want to say you're sitting on it like on a toilet, but it is like that. I don't know.
So you like them naked and raw?
Yes.
Excellent.
The more naked it is, the more I like it.
Yes.
Bikes too.
Yeah.
So we've talked about a few things here and there. Ben's already discussed his fueling. He wants fuel injection. I don't mind fuel injection. I think I already know what you're going to say.
Carbu.
Yep. He's going to get that carbu. You can almost never fuck up a carburetor unless you're not using it.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
The only time a carburetor will really get you in trouble is if you change altitude rapidly. And even then...
Or the ceiling, or...
Yeah.
But in the end, you can repair everything.
Yeah, super
Right.
simple. There's a reason.
And they operate on physics, right?
So-
Gravity and
And
vacuum.
even something
This
like...
is what a lot of people were asking me, what do you do when this or that breaks? And I say, so I have the most important things with me. All the other parts they can break, you can fix it by yourself.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff on your bike was designed to be serviceable because when it was made, there was no infrastructure for repair for something like that.
Yeah, this is what I said. This is 60s technology. So they flew to the moon in the 60s and
Allegedly. Allegedly.
maybe they flew somewhere. Definitely. This technique, the builders,
Engineers.
the engineers, they try to make a perfect moped, and not like today. They
Oh, they're just trying to make cheap
check out
mopeds.
where can we do a little bit crappy shit in so it gets broken, and they have to come to our shop to repair it. No.
Completely different mindset.
Yeah.
So, like, in your build, you're going for more self-reliance, simplicity, and serviceability, which is a huge thing, especially for adventure and travel, because when you start doing adventuring and traveling, you end up in places that don't have a shop around every corner.
Oh yeah.
Louisville, if you're farting around in Louisville, there's motorcycle shops everywhere, or motorcycle people everywhere. But when you start traveling, Ben's taken trips, I've taken trips, Ollie's taking a trip, and has taken several trips before, where you end up in places that this shit just doesn't exist. They don't even know what it is.
Try finding a stator in the middle of Tennessee.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, well, I think I was in northern Michigan when my axle shaft was broken.
Yeah.
Where to get axle shaft? M11 metric, M11 by 1.
Oh.
So,
Need a lathe.
yeah, luckily I had another one with me. I leave it in Detroit, so they send it to me, and lucky me.
Yeah. Well, benefit
That is
of the
lucky.
modern infrastructure.
Yeah. Another big one is wheel size, and we're gonna limit that to like diameter. We're not gonna worry about width and all that jazz, because you can get truck tires in those things, or you can get pizza cutters. But I'm talking strictly size for aesthetic or handling. And I love, it's a little bit more of a classic. It's like either a 1721 or a 1719. I love that chunky fat wheel in the back, and then the pizza cutter up front doing all the hard work.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat. I've any bike that's got a 19-inch front wheel, like you got me. And
The only time I variated from that opinion was when we put the matching 18s on the Shadow.
okay.
Because it just then looked like a Hot Wheels car, because they were matching the silhouette, like from an artist point. It was very appealing.
I prefer the 19 or 21, but front and rear same size.
you prefer
Maybe
equal.
maybe for the I have a personal vision for how my motorcycle has to look like. Doesn't matter how comfy it is in the end, right? But I want to have in the front 19-inch 70-100, and maybe in the back 80-100, but also 19 inches.
Just a little bit more gumption in the back.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, even because you're building your dream thing, form over function is
Enduro.
completely up to you. Yeah.
Oh wow!
What's that,
The
Sharon?
poison ivy.
Oh Jesus!
Another advantage of matching diameters
You're beating me to it.
would be like tubes and stuff, right?
Tubes.
Tubes, of course.
Also, matching diameters, which is a huge deal, especially again for travel, adventure. If you do end up with a matching wheel size, on my Alaska trip, by the time I got to Alaska, because of the way the bike was loaded and the way power is delivered, the back tire was almost
Completely
gone.
shot. Yeah.
The front tire was totally fine.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, and if you're trying to get as most miles as you can out of your set of tires, you can rotate that just like a car.
Right.
So that's a huge
Yeah, but
benefit.
Because you have more traction on the back, but it also depends on your power.
Right. Not a lot coming out of there.
No.
To stay originally, it's just 2.5 horses. My traveling moped.
One of your horses is probably dead.
Maybe 1.5. And the other one is almost
Sick.
The other one's on the way to the glue factory right
Yeah.
now.
Put out the pasture.
Okay, so I brought up a lot of the main categories here. Ooh, I got one. This is an aesthetic versus a functional choice.
Okay.
Fuel capacity. Obviously, the more fuel you carry, the bigger that fucking tank looks.
When you asked me this question originally, when we were daydreaming, I think my opinion on that is really, it's more about miles per tank.
Okay, you want range.
I would
You'd like to
like to
discuss
opt for range, but I don't want to be carrying around like 5 gallons like you got on a
KLR.
Yeah, KLR. You know, that's too much. That's
so much weight.
That's 30 pounds of fuel. That you're
Okay,
just
so where's
rolling
your
around
max?
with.
Let's put it that way. Where's your range at? Where do you want to stop between fuel?
200 miles.
That's where I was going
Say
to go.
200?
200.
That's a lot on a bike. Like that's by the time you get done with that 200 miles, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
I need
you're
to get up.
waddling a little.
Yeah, but I want to have a long and thin gas tank.
Yeah.
With a capacity of maybe 3.5 to 4
Whee!
gallons.
Hell
Yeah.
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 Or maybe a second one.
Secondary tanks.
Yeah.
Those that's
No
a big,
tunnel.
That's a big
Maybe.
thing right now in the adventure community is they're starting to put from the factory secondary tanks and stuff on them.
Maybe like the tanks of the old Indians under the they were stick
Under the bike or under the seat.
Yeah, there was.
It was like the frame went over and the tank was under.
Yeah, the frame is over, so
Like the Virago.
It's mounted
Kinda,
on
yeah.
the frame from below.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The backbone comes up
Yeah,
way.
Yeah,
high.
and so it's just a big long
That's
fill
cool.
tube.
Yep.
Up top.
See,
And like mopeds, like the Tomos, the frame is the gas tank on
Yeah.
those down tube ones.
Yeah, it's a rolling bomb.
Yes. Is that a pipe?
listen, if anybody's watching this and actually gives a fuck, I want you to pay attention to everything we said, and I want you to make an artist rendition of all these fucked up looking motorcycles we're building. Mine will obviously be a desert tan and orange. What color is yours?
Oh, mine is. It's Mad Max, like black and it's black and chrome.
Patina.
And patina, ratted. I like a ratty bike. I really do.
Yeah, my color is rust.
Yes, rust.
My colors are rough.
Yeah. Well, you showed us the picture of that bike that when you pulled it out of the barn and it was completely brown.
It's that one.
I know.
No, it
It-
was covered by
The picture,
mud
and what
dust.
I'll do is I'll probably get the picture from him later, and we'll show you guys. We can drop it in post. But the way
Here.
when he pulls, like he showed us the bike out, and it looks like when they pulled out the Lost Ark in Indiana Jones. It looks like a movie level of dust and cobwebs hanging off this thing.
Yeah, and this was after I put all the hay off the bike, and then I put it out in the daylight.
Oh yeah, so it
That's
dried out.
the
Yeah.
picture. So before, I had no idea what kind of moped it is. I saw just 2 rotten wheels. And back to the tires.
You just saw
I
potential.
want to have spokes.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Spokes versus mags?
Spokes.
Spokes for sure.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
I like
Spokes are
spokes.
serviceable.
Not too much.
They look great, serviceable.
Yeah, if you fuck up a few spokes, you can pretty much jam any spoke in there and get you home. You break a mag wheel, that's it.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done,
Yeah.
man. So I think that might be our first like unanimous vote of like choice. What? You got anything else you want
But
to add?
this one I don't want to have rusted.
We're gonna build you a nice shiny one, and you can get it rusty.
Yeah. I think that's the-
When I have my rims made black.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Made black?
Yeah.
Flat black?
Flat
Whatever
black.
you want, man.
Matte, but yeah,
Isn't? I don't know. Okay.
we got what you're saying, and yeah, I mean, I like a matte wheel, but
I'm a sucker for gold anodized wheels.
Yeah, me too.
Back in like the Honda Transalp days and stuff like that.
That's
So-
what my Sherpa was, right?
Yeah, you had
I had
gold
gold
wheels.
wheels on my Sherpa.
all right, I'm
Your
gonna
gold
run
wing?
it highly
Gold-
impractical,
yeah, the Sherpa,
but
super Sherpa,
like
like gold
the
wheels.
super high density spoke count type. You know, like
Oh,
think
no.
a Cadillac,
No.
like 32 spoke.
You fucking lost me, man.
See, because now I've just envisioned my dream bike is as obnoxious as possible to as many people as possible.
Ollie brings up a few huge points. I brought up enough. Ben's brought up enough. It's your turn.
So there are a few points. They are pretty important for the look, for the style, and so it's the kind of handlebar you use. I really like from the board tracker, goes down like the old
Okay.
Harleys or Indians. They also have
Not a
those.
drop bar, but like they just kind of come down a
Yeah,
little bit.
pullbacks.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I really like low bikes. So maybe 3 feet maximum.
Holy shit.
A lot of tunnels where you're from.
Mine was 3 feet.
Right, yeah.
I've got obviously we've got a huge adventure background, and it's more of a utilitarian thing where I like a nice high upright bar, long distance for me. Plus, if you get like a high off-road bar, an ATV or a CR bend, you get a cool little bar that goes across for stability, but that's also just another point of contact to mount something or wrap something or store something. So I like a nice off-road bar with a nice little bar across it.
I think I do too. I like the UJM stance, right? I like to sit upright. I've just found that's more comfortable.
The thin ones?
No.
So you can ride it with a hand.
No, rabbit with rabbit ears.
Those guys.
No, thank you.
No, that. I know I would die. I would just.
Yeah, but it makes sense when you have handcuffs.
oh,
Ride it.
handcuff.
You can still ride it.
You're criminal.
That's true. You can escape.
You heard it straight from his mouth. Criminals. They're all criminals. I think you talked about lights as well.
Lights.
Lights, of course.
You like a lot?
And rear.
You like
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, I do too.
Front and rear.
Yeah.
Signals.
I'm a huge.
I don't need signals. It's my vision.
Right.
It's not the vision of how
The government.
Sausage blinker.
Yes, sausage blinker. Sausage.
You must have the sausage blinker.
Oh, I'm gonna throw that in here too. We're gonna have the sausage blinker right here.
German sausage blinkers.
German sausage blinkers.
What about you, lights for? Yeah, I know you like bright.
Dude, when I
running
come
lights
down the road, I want it
in
to be
orange.
Close Encounters of the Third fucking kind.
Same.
Just lights everywhere. I love it. I love it.
My night
Like
vision
the
is
mods?
terrible.
Oh yeah.
Like the mod scooters.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the same the mirrors.
Oh yeah.
No.
No, I would
then
not.
it looks like
I
a
don't need
Homer Simpson
mirrors.
motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the trick is like, because we do a lot of camping and stuff like that off our bike, I like to be. The Himalayan is usually the flagship of the group, where it's carrying extra fuel, it's carrying extra tools, and my bike has floodlights on it, not like car floodlights, but we have a couple switches, and it lights up the ground around it, so that when you're camping, you can set up stuff, you don't have to carry a flashlight, and it's just nice for everybody around you to be able to see. So I love being the utility. I am the Swiss Army knife bike, where it has an extra gallon of fuel. It has lights for everybody else.
Okay, I take a headlight for camping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Our friends aren't that smart, man. They don't pack jack shit.
I don't want to make the motorcycle too heavy.
Oof, I am guilty of that
Because
regularly.
the weight is also important for the stability.
Yeah.
Getting
Oh,
the
yeah.
speed wobbles.
Yeah, because I feel it when I have too much weight in the back, like now.
Oh yeah.
When I put one hand off the handlebar, ooh,
Just a little.
the handlebar does like this, and so keep it light,
Yeah.
and yeah.
That's just good advice all around.
Yeah.
Keep it light, guys. You're taking it way too seriously.
Yeah, I've gotten speed
Fenders?
wobbles on his bike.
Fenders, yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Maybe just to the top of the wheel in the back,
Sure.
and pretty close to the
I agree.
tire.
Yeah.
Hardtail,
You like
no
those.
suspension in the back,
You're losing me.
and in the front I don't need. Because in my vision it never rains.
Correct.
I'm
No
a,
mud.
I'm a huge
No
fan of like the nose beak and high mount fenders.
I like the high front fender, but I agree with him that the rear fender should not extend past the seat.
Oh, some of these that are coming out nowadays have like a rear fender with the extension with all the lights and plates that come out. It's too much.
No.
I don't like it.
It's too much hanging off the back end to get caught on something, and yeah, I don't even want a license plate.
I mean, shit.
In my vision, no borders.
No borders.
No borders.
No
No,
license
rain.
plates. No rain.
Yeah, what about the shifter?
Shifter.
What about it?
I want to have a tank shifter, suicide shifter.
Suicide shift. No.
No, no.
Not for
I
me.
have enough
Cool.
trouble.
I think I'd like that.
On both sides.
I don't even know what these do anymore.
So
I have a paddle bike. It's
I do have a preference on shifter as far as foot shifters. The Himalayan, I have a problem with. It has a shift linkage where you have your foot lever that goes to an arm with a linkage in between, and they move like this.
yeah.
I don't like that. That's a point of failure. And if you look at mine, because of the damage it's taken from going over, it's a little cattywampus. And if that breaks, it's game over. You're going to have to get creative with how you fix that. So I like one that has a shifter straight off of the shift shaft.
Yep, that's how my Suzuki 550 was. I really liked that. It was very, very firm.
You go the complete opposite way, and the only complaint I have about the Tenere is if you look at the shifter on a Tenere, the motor is from a street bike, but they put it up real high, so it has like a foot-long shift linkage in it.
Yeah.
As an off-road bike, I would be carrying 2 extra of those bad boys on trips.
Yeah, and I think that goes into one item I would add for my bike is always going to be Dream Bike's mid controls.
Yeah,
Not forward.
Yeah, that goes with like the upright.
Yeah, that's the stance, I
If
guess.
you look
again.
at like the road pictures of like warning motorcycle, it's the guy like it's a Lego bike.
yeah,
Man.
a rolling toilet.
Yeah,
That's
do it.
one unit of motorcycle, right? Like,
Share the road with,
Exactly.
with a toilet rider.
yeah.
Dude, listen. Those stickers are on the way. Toilet rider done. Patches,
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, a toilet, 2 wheels, and a handlebar.
Listen, we're gonna make this.
Is that
I'm-
the ideal bike?
I'm going to make this.
No.
Does
He
it,
said no.
Now,
Now, if you're building your toilet bike, is it the round bowl or the long bowl?
Long bowl.
Kimmy's a long bowl gal. She doesn't want to touch the front. It's icky.
gotta get your hand in there.
All right.
All right.
We got anything else?
I think I'm good there. I think this all goes into stance, but I would just say that you have made recently the comment about seat comfort, right? And I believe you were talking about you would love a sheepskin cover for your seat.
We're getting into the ins and outs of accessories at that point.
All right, we won't
I
accessorize.
think it's an interesting add-on though,
Fuck
because
me
Ollie's
around.
over here without any padding
he
on
has-
his bike, riding
there
across
is-
the
yeah.
world.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing on
Homeboy
his
over
seat.
here riding in a
I
tractor seat.
no, it more looks like a shuttle. Like a.
It is literally.
Yes,
It is a shuttle.
It is. But it's a lot of people don't believe that it's comfy, but it is. It's for long distances.
You rolled up and you didn't get off like, oh, fuck me. You just rolled up and got off and started talking.
Yeah. Rubber skeleton.
Yeah.
You should see a doctor about that.
Now,
Soft bones.
Yeah. So I was practicing the roll in for so long, so I have pain. No, I don't have pain.
Don't show your pain. Bury it deep down and never talk about it. That's what
Yeah.
that's another good.
That is the adventure rule.
Yeah, just
Pain doesn't matter.
find a hobby to bury it in and never talk about it to anyone. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, the first, of course, when mostly on my day trips, I'm for sometimes 5 to 7 hours on the road, just riding. And when I make a break because of my fingers getting numb or the feet's getting numb, my ass never hurts, but the feet's getting numb, the fingers, and when I do a break, I will sit down on a curb. I don't stand.
Right.
I'm sitting, smoking a cigarette, drink something, and then 20 minutes later, hit the road again.
Yeah.
Is your bike pretty vibrating? Got a lot of vibrations?
Or I have vibrations.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's, more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the speed.
oh
Sure.
yeah. All right, I'm calling it there.
All right.
Listen, I'm tired.
That's the real end now.
Build your own motorcycles, and even if you don't draw ours, draw your own.
Yeah.
Let's see them. We're probably never going to see any of that. I dare you to do it. So go make your own bikes. Show me what you got. Get out there and ride your bikes,
Yeah.
adventurers.
Go ride.
For real this time. I'm done with you. I'm leaving.
You gotta have Ollie say goodnight, adventurers in German.
Yeah, give me goodnight, adventurers, in any language you want, other than English.
So,
Everyone
ja,
you know.
liebe Abenteurer, dann lasst krachen und wie auch immer.
I literally don't
Good
know.
enough.
Yeah, he could be saying anything.
I could be, might be on a watch list now.
They don't prove it.
Leave.